organisms show movements. We can observe many movements taking place in our body. For example, our teeth chew and grind the food. The heart beats to circulate the blood to all parts of the body. We see objects around us by moving our eyeballs. The chest moves up and down as we breathe. The change in the position of any part of the body with respect to its axis is called movement. We can observe the shoot system of a plant move, turn in the direction of sunlight. The roots move, grow in the direction where water is available in the soil. The leaves of the mimosa plant move, fold up when touched by hand. The flowers of the daisy plant move, close up at night. So, we can say that the movement of a body part is necessary for the life process of all the living organisms, plants as well as animals. The movement of the whole body of an organism from one place to another is called locomotion. Plants are mostly fixed to the ground, so they do not show locomotion. Animals have the ability to move from one place to another, so they have the power of locomotion. Animals show locomotion in the form of walking, in the case of human beings, running, in the case of horses, swimming, in the case of fishes, and flying, in the case of birds. Locomotion helps animals in several ways. It helps them to find their food and water, protect themselves from their enemies and predators, move from an unfavorable environment to a favorable environment. We see in winters birds migrate from the severely cold regions of the earth to warmer regions to protect themselves from the excessive cold. Find their partners, mates, for reproduction. Find suitable places for laying eggs or rearing their young ones. Before we discuss the different types of movements in animals, let us take a look at the skeletal system of our body, which helps in the movement of our body parts and locomotion. Skeletal system. All the bones in our body also form a framework to give a shape to our body. This framework, which is made of all the bones in our body, is called the skeleton. Functions of the skeleton. The skeleton has the following main functions. It gives shape and support to the body. It gives protection to the delicate internal organs of the body. For example, the skull protects the brain. The ribcage protects the heart and lungs. The backbone protects the spinal cord. It helps in the movement when body muscles are attached to the bones. They together produce the movements in the body. They help us to stand, run, walk, and so on. Parts of the skeleton. The human skeleton consists of 5 basic parts. The skull, the backbone or spine, the ribcage, 2 pairs of limbs, 2 pairs of girdles. The skull. The skull is the bony structure consisting of the brain box and facial bones. The brain box is the upper portion of the skull. It is made up of 8 flat bones joined together. The brain box encloses the delicate brain inside it. It protects the brain from injury and shocks. Our face is made up of 14 bones. The lower jaw is the only bone in the skull which is movable. It enables us to chew our food and speak. The backbone or spine. The backbone forms the main axis of the skeleton. It is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae. These small bones join together to form a strong column called the vertebral column. It protects the delicate spinal cord. The vertebrae can move over each other. This allows you to bend and twist your back, as shown in the figure. Ribcage. There are 12 pairs of thin and curved bones called the ribs. These bones form a rib cage, which protects the heart and the lungs. All the 12 pairs of the ribs are joined with the backbone at the back, and the first 10 pairs are joined with the chest bone in the front. The last 2 pairs of ribs are free at the front end and are called floating ribs. The limbs. There are 2 pairs of limbs. A pair of forelimbs or arms, a pair of hind limbs or legs. The bones of the arms are joined to the spine by the shoulder girdle and collarbone. In the upper arm, there is only one bone, humerus. In the lower arm, there are 2 bones, radius and ulna. Many small bones make up the wrist, palm and fingers. The bones of the hips are joined to the spine by the hip girdle. In the upper leg, there is only one bone called femur or thigh bone. It is the longest bone in our body. In the lower leg, there are 2 bones, tibia and fibula. Many small bones together make up the ankle, foot and toes. The girdles. There are 2 pairs of girdles, a pair of shoulder girdles, a pair of hip girdles. The limbs are not joined directly to the backbone, spine, but to the girdles. The arms are joined to the shoulder girdle. The legs are joined to the hip girdle. The girdles lie on either side of the backbone and are fixed to it.